Hey everyone, good to see you all. I'm back, and gonna see if I can talk about the day as quickly as I can because it's 2:25 in the morning and I want to go to bed before 3. So let's go ahead and get started. So I remember in the morning I was woken up by my mom at around I think it was 9 o'clock or maybe 9:30, something like that. And I was asked if I could get up to move my car out of the way so she could drive off to work. So I got up, put on my shoes, and I was headed to my car. But then she asked me if I could water the help her water the plants outside. So I did that as well. I turned on the water hose and she watered each of the plants, and we did a little water plant dance. It was super cute. And yeah, after she was done, I turned off the water hose and I went in my car. I backed up. I said goodbye, told her that I love her, and then she went off to the races. I then drove my car back up the driveway, and I decided to go back to sleep again. I stayed asleep all the way up until around 11 when I got a call from my sister letting me know that that she was leaving to help with my middle sister for a convention. She just wanted to tell me that she loves me. So I told her thank you and that I love you too. And yeah, after that, I remember I was interested in scrolling through YouTube to find something engaging to watch. So I opened it up on the CRT television over there and on PlayStation 4, and I was trying to think of something interesting to check out. And I found this new video released by Red Letter Media about it was the Wheel of the Worst, latest edition, where they have a voice actor on and a special effects artist on. Both are prevalent guests in the show. And I saw that and thought to myself, ooh, that would be fun to, eat something, you know, like fast food while watching. So, because I usually like to eat stuff like that when I'm watching, best of the worst Red Letter Media videos. And so I was thinking to myself, what do I want? And I remember last night I watched this guy called Matt the Meat Guy, and he was reviewing different fried chickens, and he was talking about Popeyes chicken meat, and I thought, oh, that looks and sounds good. I think I'll get that. So I decided to go ahead and get ready to go for Popeyes. Before I did, I needed to use the restroom, and then I was communicating with ChatGPT about some financial information, trying to get a better, clearer picture of certain things. And then after that, I decided to go ahead and go off to Popeyes. I eventually got there, and when I arrived, I made my order. Through the drive-through, I noticed they had an AI voice, which kind of bugged me because I'm like, well, they, pretty much someone's job was taken all, so they didn't have to pay one more person, so they could have a robot do it for them. It's kind of sad, or very sad actually, but nonetheless, I made my order and I drove up and I had a large order of included fries, potato with gravy, mashed potato with gravy, the spicy chicken sandwich, and a large Diet Coke. The worker there told me that the fries would take 2 minutes and suggested I park in front of the restaurant and wait for the order to be complete. So I did exactly that. I drove up to the front and just waited and waited until eventually the food was served to me. I thanked the worker, and then I drove off. So eventually I arrived home and I put the food on a plate, as I usually do when I get food out. And the first thing I noticed was how hot the Cajun fries were. And I have to say, normally when I get Popeyes chicken fries, they're usually very lukewarm. So the fact this was like hot and fresh was a very lovely surprise and tasted very nice. Although the person who served me did not give me any ketchup or sauce packets, I suppose I was supposed to, ask for those, but I didn't. So I suppose I could have just gotten the ketchup in the fridge and poured it on there, but I was like, I'll just use the mashed potatoes as the dip. So the fries are potatoes, so it's like putting the potato on the potato. Pretty funny. And the chicken sandwich was all right. Chicken wasn't as crispy as I would have wanted, but it had a nice flavor to it, so that was good. Yeah, and I watched this funny uh, Red Letter Media video with my meal. I was drinking my Diet Coke, which was okay. It fizzled a little bit down after I got it and my drive back home, but it wasn't like terrible. It was still good overall. And yeah, this was a very funny video. It was basically they spun a wheel filled with a bunch of random VHS tapes, and they chose one after the other, and then they all watched the videos from beginning to end, and then they reviewed them at the roundtable discussion to decide which is the best of the worst. Sorry. So, yeah, I'm currently on like the part where they're just watching through the tapes right now after they pick them, and it's some funny stuff, like a guy with a mustache and different hairdos being changed out. That was pretty funny. Then there was like last I remember, Jay was making fun of this lady who was trying to teach kids how to make popcorn, and he was like, "Come on, this is my one big chance at Hollywood stardom, and don't ruin this for me." It was pretty funny. Yeah, so that's pretty much what I saw. I had to pause though because I wanted to take a shower. So I paused the video, I took a shower, I got dressed for work, and when I was ready, I oh yeah, when I arrived home from the Popeyes, I noticed there was a package in the mail for me. It was a tiny little pack, and it was a little pin that like little commemorative pin for my me sticking at my job for 5 years. So yeah, that was nice that that arrived. I put that on my shirt, just a little badge of honor. And yeah, then took my shower, put on my clothes for work, went out the door, and I drove. And yeah, I arrived. And honestly, pretty fine day. The usual suspects: sweeps, punching in, taking orders out, bagging. Although, I guess we could go over some of the more interesting things, like, for example, one of my coworkers who has been working at that location for 30 years let me know of the image editing software on their phone which I knew as banana, but I guess they didn't know. They just clicked the banana and then they describe changes and then they happen. And they showed me a picture of them standing next to a Pringles mascot guy in the suit with the hat on, or the face thing. And then I asked if it'd be all right if I could like create an image based on that. And they were like, sure. So I asked, hey, make it so the Pringles guy is like sitting on a rocket blasting off, and my coworker, who was also in the shot, is lassoing a UFO, and they're both in space. And then I sent that, and it generated, and it got the biggest laugh out of my coworker. He thought that was so funny. So that was pretty cool. I liked that. And then I showed one of my coworkers a funny video of the coworker AI generated the video of them doing, or picture of them doing the lasso with, of the coworker doing a breakdance as they were heading to work and then doing some ninja fights. So yeah, they thought that was pretty funny. It would seem, based on what I saw. And then I went downstairs, and continued my duties, from wiping spills to taking orders out to continuously punching my sweeps in, and then taking out the trash. And yeah, when I finally gathered all the trash, I had to be cautious of the guy bringing the pallets in and out, so I could take my opportunity and run with it of going out side and throwing away the trash. So yeah. Oh, and of course, my first break, I decided to do a little more financial research. So there you go. And then after all of that, I remember I had my lunch break where I had my Italian sub sandwich, 1/5 of it, along with a A&W zero sugar soda and 14 Pringles pizza flavored chips, and one of those oatmeal strawberry bars that I got for free from work. So yeah, I had all that. Oh, and I also had the oatmeal strawberry bar on my first break too, by the way. So yeah, pretty cool. Very delicious. Yeah. And as I was eating, I remember watching a guy on YouTube called Richard Dolan, who was talking about how he believes that the whole UFO psyop theory is silly because this whole phenomenon's been going on for many, many years, and how could a psyop of this caliber last that long? It would fall under its own pressure. So I thought that was a pretty interesting video. And then I returned back from my lunch break, punched back in, continued with the sweeps and the punch in, and bringing in bags up to the front, filling all the check stands with bags, wiping all the check stands, clearing lot, bringing carts and signs in, closing the produce blinds, wiping the fourth check stand down, doing go backs, but of course asking my co-closing manager first before doing the go backs. They said yes. So I did all that. And then I took out some remainder straggler trash that was out. And after all that was done, sorry, I remember I was getting to a conversation with with my manager, co-manager, closing manager, about video games and what games they're into. They're currently into Halo. They really like Halo. I've never played a Halo game, but I'm interested since Halo Combat Evolved is available on PS5, so that's definitely something I'm eyeing. And Sorry about that. And I described that the latest game that I played was a game called Ashen on my Nintendo Switch. And basically, I described it as a Souls-like, where you go through a complex map with many different paths before going to the very end, and you have to kind of figure out what the story is as you play along. I then punched out. I said goodnight to my co-manager. I said goodnight to the guys that were taking their, that were going to be doing their closing duties or night crew duties. Went outside. Went in my car, drove off to home. When I arrived home, I opened the fridge, ate a whole hot dog. Didn't even cook it, just ate it uncooked with some mustard. And yeah. I then tried to make some popcorn, but I couldn't find the kernels for the life of me. So I had some ramen, creamy chicken ramen instead. It was pretty good with some Coke Zero. And then I was listening to various different UFO podcasts. Then I took my vitamins, I brushed my teeth, and decided to make this video. That's a basic rundown of the day. I'm gonna read Dune Messiah, publish that bad boy, and start making Z's. So off I go. Have a good night, everyone, and take care.